Moving over to the NBA preseason, there's some takeaways from that. First of all, Lonnie Walker has been waived despite having a pretty productive preseason. And this is a guy who I thought was going to be a really, really key member for Celtics coming off the bench this year. Lonnie is, if nothing else, a great scorer. And especially for guys coming off the bench, that spark can be really, really helpful. The Celtics as a team, especially in the starting five, that's a lot of Swiss Army knives, right? They can defend, they can play make, they can score, they can do whatever. But sometimes, especially with a guy like Jason Tatum, they can be inconsistent on that scoring end. So if you're able to have a guy like Lonnie Walker come off the bench and give you a good 14 or even more, if he has to step in for a guy having an off night in the starting five and he's able to come in and give you 20-plus points in a game, that's huge. And I thought Lonnie Walker was going to be really, really good for the Boston Celtics this year, but now he's not going to get a chance to do that. I thought that if the Celtics were going to repeat, and obviously that really comes down to their starting five, that is an elite starting five. You've got two borderline superstars. You've got pretty much all the starting five is all-star caliber if they were to be, a primary option on a team. Or maybe they're just, an all-star in their own right in terms of how they slot into the team. A guy like Derek White, he's a crucial role player, so he was getting all-star calls. So the whole starting five is uber talented, but coming off the bench, maybe a little bit less so. You've got guys like Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, but the bench depth isn't all the way there. And so if you had Lonnie Walker on that team, that's a huge upgrade to your bench depth. And if a guy, like the shooting guard, if Derek White or Jaylen Brown went out, shooting guard / small forward, then Lonnie Walker would be able to step in seamlessly. And he's not going to do all the things that a role player should, like Derek White or Jaylen Brown, but he doesn't need to because you've got so many Swiss Army knives on that starting five. If Lonnie Walker had to come in and just go get a bucket, guess what? Lonnie Walker can do that. There was a stint when he was with the LA Lakers, and it was really only for the first. It wasn't a huge sample size, but there was a point where he was averaging 20 points a night, more than D'Lo was. So Walker is a really, really good scorer, and for a team like the Celtics, especially coming off the bench, I thought that could be really, really valuable. But they've went and waived him, and he had a productive preseason, and it's really probably just a money thing. But for the Boston Celtics, I think that is a loss, and I don't know that you'll really notice the on-the-court impact of it just because of the fact that, you never got to see him suit up in the regular season for the Celtics. If it was someone, like in the case of the Clippers with Paul George, they're going to feel the loss of him, especially now that Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely because, they saw how good Paul George could be for the Clippers. And you're not going to get to see that for Celtics. So obviously, it's on a different level comparing Lonnie Walker to Paul George, right? But it's the same kind of deal where with Lonnie Walker, you're not going to feel the impact as much as you would PG just because you never got to see him on the court. And this is a team that already won the title. But I feel like Lonnie could have elevated their chances at repeating to win the NBA championship this year. And with him being waived, I think I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to find an NBA team. But I thought the Celtics were a great, great fit for Lonnie Walker.